Hi, it's Kiffin Bates here, and today I want to talk again about the distinction between the presentation layer and the data layer in blockchain, because this is something that people get confused about. You have the data on the blockchain, and that is bound by all sorts of protocols and rules, and therefore you can determine how things can move about within that distributed database. And then there's the presentation layer, which is how Web3 websites decide to present that data to you. And there is nothing that binds a Web3 website to actually show you what the underlying data is. That is entirely up to the developers and maintainers of the website. And this can have some very unfortunate side effects. It doesn't even necessarily require that the Web3 website is malicious. If it's badly designed, then people can be scammed and tricked. And this is exactly what happened today to a Bored Ape Yacht Club token owner. They decided to swap 3 of their valuable tokens worth approximately $500,000 in a smart contract through a Web3 interface. And they thought that they were swapping their 3 tokens for 3 tokens of equivalent value, because when they went to the website and engaged in the swap, the tokens that they were shown had the verified checkmark in them that the Web3 website added to tokens that come from verified, approved and valuable smart contracts. Unbeknownst to the person engaging in the trade, it was a scammer who had actually edited the pixels of the Web3 website checkmark into the images of some valueless spoof tokens that they had made. And so the scammer managed to subvert the presentation layer of the Web3 website, which convinced the owner of the valuable tokens that they were getting something of value. Unfortunately, once they conducted the swap, then they discovered they had junk. And when they went to look at the images in other places, they saw that the checkmark was still there. And this, I think, really draws a distinction between the presentation layer and the data layer. Just remember, the data layer is the thing that reflects the view of the truth that we have with regard to things such as ownership and what the nature of particular NFTs is. But the Web3 websites are presenting that data, and you can never guarantee that that presentation is truthful. It can be subverted. It can be that the website is actually malicious and is lying to you. There's nothing that forces Web3 websites to be honest. And I think that is very important. I think we're going to see a lot more of these kind of scams in the future because they are actually fairly easy to pull off. So keep your eyes open. Remember, always verify and think, what am I looking at? Am I looking at a presentation which can be manipulated, or am I looking at the actual underlying data? Even Etherscan can't necessarily be trusted, of course, because that itself is another presentation layer. It's a Web3 website that is gathering data off the blockchain and showing it to you. Now, I hope that Etherscan is accurate, but of course there's no guarantee that some hacker hasn't got in and made some alterations to the web pages in order to scam you. Ultimately, the only true way to get accurate data is to go directly to the blockchain, which unfortunately means running your own node and knowing an awful lot about command line interaction through a blockchain node piece of software such as Geth in order to really get the data that is actually there. Anyway, that's today's video. I hope you found it illuminating, and I'll see you all in the next video soon. Bye for now.